Hey everybody, I've been wanting to do this for a little while, but I've been kind of hesitant to get it to put something together, mainly because of some of the issues I've been having. But without further ado, here is your Sovol SV08 review. Now I'm going to review this just as like a regular person, if that makes any sense to you guys. If you're looking for like the specs and the geeked out over the top explanation of this printer, there's plenty of those videos out there. Go on Google or YouTube and just search for SV08 review and watch those guys talk over your head. And if you're smart enough to understand it, good on you. But for me, I'm just gonna tell you what I think of it from a normal person's review or normal person's experience. And keep in mind, I purchased the first batch, the very first release, first models. Anytime you do that, you are going to have problems. So when you watch these reviews, anytime anybody's doing a review, if they have purchased the first batch and they're complaining, then it's kind of their fault. It's kind of my fault. I'll be honest with you. I'm taking responsibility because I knew better. You never buy the first batch, the first year, the first model of something. You just never do that because it's always gonna have issues. Cars, electronics, whatever it is, always wait for them to work out their issues. Manufacturers will always use customers as the guinea pigs. So that being said, here's my Sovol review. So this is one of two that I've purchased. Like I said, it was the first batch. This is probably my 20th print on it, give or take a few. But, as you can see, it's impressive. It is. When it works, it's an impressive printer. Do I recommend this to a brand new owner to a 3D printing hobby? No. Do not buy this printer. If you are brand new to 3D printing, don't buy this printer. I can't stress it enough. I'm sorry if this pisses other people off or whatever. I don't really care. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe anybody. You do not buy this printer as the first 3D printer. You will hate it. You will hate yourself. You will hate 3D printing. This is a tinker printer, in my opinion. This is a tinker printer. When it works amazing. When it doesn't work, you're tinkering with it, and it's a lot more tinkering than it is working. And that's because like that one back there in the back corner is still not working. It's a brand new printer. I've only had maybe 2 prints on it, and it's a pain in the ass. This one, because it was one of the first models, I had to print pieces that the customers have figured out. So the issues are being worked through by the customers. And they're coming up with these little models basically that you can do to mod to fix your printer. This one particularly is one-off printables. It's free, it's easy. I printed it in PLA and I put it on my printer and it solved one of my issues, a very common issue, which was very frail prints. Basically one of the pins in the gear mechanism was just coming out, and it was a very easy fix. So I'm assuming that after a couple of batches of these printers come out, they'll have that already installed already, something like that if anything. So basically anything that we're working through, I mean, like the issues I had very first thing with this printer, I had to modify the printer configuration file. Of 16 printers I've owned, I've never had to modify a printer configuration file yet. That was the first time I've ever bought a brand new printer and had to actually modify it to make it work. It was a learning experience. So like I said, would I recommend this to a brand new 3D printer person? No. Could you work through it like I did? Yeah, I think most people could probably work through it. There's a great community, one of the best. Sovol's been great with their, when I ask them issues or I give them problems and they come up with a solution, that's been great. The community's really smart. There's a lot of really smart people in the groups for Sovol. So I think it's that Voron printers, I believe, is where it came from. That's what this is, I believe. I don't have background in that. I unfortunately am one of those plug and play. I want to buy a printer, plug it in, and have it work. So like my Sovols, this is my first version of Sovol I've ever owned. My Elegoo's, you know, you kind of have to set them up and build them. This is the same way. You basically have to set up the kit. It's from my understanding, it's a Voron copy that is in a kit form that you can basically build. It's, you know, pretty straightforward to build. It took me probably 45 minutes, you know, to get it together. You know, it wasn't too bad. If you're brand new to 3D printing, you know, I think I would buy like the Chitty X Max 3. Chitty just came out with the Chitty, Chitty Plus 4, I believe is what they just called it. So it's a new Chitty Plus 4, and they're going to have like an AMS system, some sort of, you know, filament changing system, you know, option for that. It's basically like a Creality KM1 Max or a Bamboo Lab printer. It's just a like 300 by 300 build volume, so it's a pretty good size. I'd buy that if I was going to buy another printer right now. Honestly, if I was going to buy another printer, I'd buy the Chitty Plus 4, or yeah, Plus 4. So that's the one I would get if you want my honest opinion. You know, would I buy that to replace this? Nope. Sorry, but the 350 by 350 by 350 build volume is it's a must for me. I print a lot of big armor, and I have maximized this print volume already a couple times, so now I know I need that. And here's another part of my review I want to point out to you guys, or at least kind of give you. I'm gonna set this down so I can talk. So basically, what solidified this printer for me, the Sovol. The other day, I started a print on the Elegoo, the Neptune 4 Max, and it was a very big print. It was like the left side of like a shoulder piece, and I started the print, and then I cloned it and started the exact same print on the Sovol. Now, essentially, one was left, one was right. The Sovol finished in half the time than the Elegoo, and with the same quality of print. So that's amazing. It blew me away, because the Elegoo Neptune 4 Maxes, when I bought them and put them in built my farm, they blew me away with how fast they were printing for a bed slinger. My old printers, when I first started 3D printing, I used to print at 25 millimeters per second. 25 millimeters per second. I maxed my Sunlu S8 Pros at 50 millimeters per second, I think was the fastest they went. Even the travel speed wasn't faster than like 100 millimeters per second. So, I mean, you know, when I jumped into a printer that could do, you know, 250, that was a lot. That was a huge jump for me, and it was an amazing jump too. And the quality was still amazing for the amount of speed. So when I see that jump again to like this printer, it makes me want to buy more. I think if I were to buy another Sovol, and if I were to recommend this to you guys, I would say wait maybe a month. You know, some of the reviews I've heard coming back from people who are buying them now, receiving them now, has been good. People are saying that they're having good luck with them. They're working right out of the box. So I think a lot of the issues that I dealt with and that some of these other people have dealt with, I think Sovol is kind of, you know, they've figured out, and they've already started to fix the printers. You know, the thing that really disappointed me, and I think a lot of the other users, was the issues that we had was the taco bed. Our bed is a flat fixed bed, and when you do the bed mesh, they literally look like this. They literally look like tacos. The bed mesh should be flat, and on a flat, non-movable bed on a printer, it should be flat. And these beds are all wonky and warped, and there's a lot of people having that issue. Supposedly with the new ones, they're not having that issue, but I am still hesitant to listen to some people, because some people are just full of shit. So, you know, there's that. So my experience, both my printers had the taco bed issue, and that was an issue that, you know, to fix it, I print with a raft. I've never had to print with a raft. The only time you usually have to print with a raft is if you have a warped bed. So, yeah. I'm printing with a raft on the Sovols, so, you know, to fix the kind of the warped bed issue. It's working out for me. That's fixed that issue for me. The configuration file issue, obviously that's going to be fixed, you know, when you get a brand new printer, even today. You know, the only other thing that I was really disappointed with them was the nozzles. They have these, like, you know, they made their own nozzles, it looks like, and they're really cheap. They're not threaded, they slide out, they actually are like pressure fit. They're really piece of shit nozzle. And they've already come out with a hardened steel version that's threaded, that you can replace the nozzles instead of having to replace the whole entire housing. That should be what the printer comes with. The fact that I have to buy it as an extra, or I have to ask for it, or something along that lines is pretty shitty. You know, I understand Sovol. We all bought it at a discounted rate, so you know, ship your customers the shitty pieces. Sure, I mean, if that's how you want to do business. Personally, I would have gotten a hold of every one of those customers and sent them some new nozzles and said, hey, sorry, we fucked up, but you guys do you. I've already bought the hardened steel nozzles, and I've already purchased them and had them coming, so they're already going to be here. I've already ordered some, you know, replacement parts because some of the stuff that they have is janky on the hot end assembly. I think if I were to buy another one, and I probably will buy another one, I'll be honest with you, I probably will buy another one. I'm going to wait until I see somebody come out with a better hot end assembly. I'd like to see something that's a bolt-in hot end assembly from anyone, honestly. I've seen some really cool upgrades that, you know, look like fun. Like, look like fun to print a lot of these really cool upgrades that are coming out. I'm gonna wait to mod my printers until I see more people successfully modifying them. The last thing I want to do is, you know, turn my printer into a brick. So there's that. You know, I don't feel comfortable enough with clipper and, you know, all of those types of things that you know, I can adjust belts and, you know, lubricate rods and change out things, but I don't really feel comfortable with the programming side of things. So that's kind of where Sovol's, I don't know, where I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, do I really want to get into that? You know, with 3D printing, you're already dealing with so many other things to fix and you know, maintenance issues and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if I really want to get into the programming side of things. So I don't know. I'm going to wait for somebody to come out with a really well, and I think there are some already, but some really well documented steps and things people have been doing, like adding better, you know, sensors on here. You know, one thing I would like to mention, if there's any manufacturers watching this, and I know there is because nobody sponsors me or cares about what I think, but one feature I've noticed on one of my printers that is now, honestly, I want to add to all of my printers. It's now going to be a crucial feature, and I'm going to look for on every printer I buy in the future. I want my filament. There's always a filament runout sensor on a new printer. You know, they always come with a filament runout sensor. But I have I think it's the Q1 Pros, if I remember correctly, that comes with, the Chitty Q1 Pro that comes with an entanglement sensor. That has been such a lifesaver. And I want to get an entanglement sensors installed on all of my printers now, because you know how many times filament gets tangled up? It pulls off the rod or off the roll or something, and it gets tangled up, and then the printer's printing air for an hour or two, and you just, you know, lost your print. I have several of those around here that are just failed prints from that. That is such a crucial feature, and it needs to be on everything. It's not on the Sovol. I'm sorry I brought it up on this review, but it needs to be. It needs to be on every single printer. So if you're buying a printer today, that should be a crucial feature, is the filament entanglement sensor. If you're brand new to 3D printing, entanglement has been one of the banes of my existence with 3D printing. I don't know how many times I have lost prints from entanglement. So the fact that there's a sensor out there and it's not on every printer, it just like blows me away. Anyway, back to the Sovol. It's a good printer. I really do think it has the potential to be a good printer. And if you don't mind tinkering with them, I definitely recommend joining groups for any time you want to look at a printer or you want to buy a printer. Join the group, but understand one thing when you're looking at these groups. I don't care what manufacturer it is. People join these groups and they join to ask for help. So you'll see a lot more complaints than you will positive posts, because people are on there asking for help from the consumers, the other people out there. So don't get discouraged when you see that. You're going to see that on every group. I don't care. I'm literally I'm members of every group. Every group has it. Even the Bamboo Lab printer, even the Kool-Aid drinking Bamboo Lab boys. I don't care. I have saved screenshot after screenshot of broken Bamboo Lab printers and people complaining on the Bamboo Lab forums because they don't know how to fix them. So it's on every printer. Every printer breaks, every one of them. So you're not going to get out of it. You're not going to get out of doing maintenance. My favorite is when somebody complains about a printer not being like a car and just working all the time. That's a horrible analogy. The fact that people use that as an analogy makes me laugh my ass off, because cars, if you buy the first model of the first year of the first exact that ever came out, you will have a lemon. I'm sorry, but you will. That's cars. Cars are the same way as printers. You have belts, you have wheels, you have bearings, you have lubricant, you have oil, you have computers, you know what I mean? You have power, it's all the same shit. It's just in a little tiny device that moves, and so many different things vibrate and loosen up, and you're going to change your oil in your car, you're going to change your brakes on your car, you're going to change your tires on your car. Sure, you can take it to a mechanic, and this you have to do yourself, but that's 3D printing. So, the other thing I want to talk about too is common sense. Please stop telling people this is common sense. I hate that term. I'm going to rant about this real quick. Common sense is previously learned knowledge. If you call something common sense because you've learned the knowledge, that's just knowledge. You just have knowledge. To make something common, has to be normal. Breathing air, it should be common, right? But some people are born and don't take a first breath, right? So you can't say breathing air is common sense, because some people don't take that first breath. So that's not common. You can't say fire is hot. That's common sense, because you didn't know fire was hot until you touched it. You might have looked at it and went, yeah, but come on. You want to really, how arrogant would you have to be like, oh yeah, no, I knew fire was hot before I touched it. Really? So there's just things that people don't, the whole terminology of common sense, it's just previously learned knowledge. And not everybody has that previously learned knowledge. Not everybody has the IQ of someone else. I don't have the IQ of a lot of these other people. I'm not a very intelligent person. I'm the first to tell you I was educated. I'm not, I don't know words very well. And that's why my reviews aren't over the top explanations and crazy shit. So just be nice to people, understand that people have different limitations. There's always going to be somebody smarter than us, somebody smarter than you. Even when you take an IQ test. I just watched a video the other day. A guy that was so smart, he was smarter than the IQ test, is now writing new IQ tests for smart people. I couldn't imagine being so smart that you're smarter than the IQ test, and the IQ tests make you bored. It blows me away. So anyway, so be kind. You never know. You're probably dumber than someone else and you don't even know it. Anyway, guys, I hope these videos help. I'm trying to keep posting as much positive as I can. I don't want to rant anymore. I don't want to rave about things. I'm just going to live in the moment and enjoy what I'm given, whether it's pain or it's suffering. Whether it's, joy. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to take that moment and I'm going to live in it, and I'm not going to focus on the past. I'm not going to focus on the future. And I'm going to try to embrace it all and give you guys the most positive reviews and positivity I can. So, and hopefully maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll learn a little bit, a life lesson. Who knows? Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good rest of your day.